Now let's talk about these other create compound shapes, and we call it clip here. We definitely have to have shapes overlapping each other. And that's one of the crucial things we're going to do. So I'm going to eliminate this one right here, just highlight it and delete it, or another way to do it, as you can see the polygon and the layers down here. I see that it's highlighted. I can come here and just hit delete layer or item, and it's gone. So I'm going to take these and overlap them. Got a beautiful one here. We got this one right here. And you're going to notice that they're overlapping. I'm creating a shape, but I'm looking to just get the contour of this. And we talked about that earlier today. So I need to select them all. I'm going to hold my shift button down and select them different ways. Notice I have all three done. They're right there, as you can see, in the layers. And notice this becomes highlighted, create compound shapes. So what's happening is I'm going to take and click and do the very first one. It actually shows you what it looks like. Union is, it becomes one shape. Now, here's what you need to realize. And I'm going to go back to Control Z. And as we know, Control Z is undo or step backwards. It's going to take the actual appearance or the attributes of your bottom shape. As you can see over here in layers, the ellipse is the bottom shape. So when I go to Union, it takes on the red. Control Z. Maybe I wanted to take on the shape of the actual, let's say, the triangle, because I like that blue, or not the triangle, the square, because I like that blue stroke. It's a matter of doing several things. I can click on it, and I can move in layers the rectangle down. Notice I'm able to move my layers. I have just put it underneath the ellipse and the polygon, and let's see how that works. So let's select this. I'm doing a different selection, different way. Notice all three are selected, and I go ahead and I do union. Notice it takes on that blue characteristic, the light blue with the dark blue stroke. So, and you can oversee in layers again, and I'm going to refer back to layers all the time, is that there's a small triangle again. I click on it, and notice it's got the polygon, the ellipse, and the rectangle, and notice how it is. And that's where it looks like, and it works really well. Notice the rectangle doesn't have the black or the filled in squares. That shows that that is the actual appearance that it is. So that's very, very good to know. Let's do our Control Z as we always do. Now let's do the next one. It says subtract. If we do subtract, you're noticing that only two shapes are affected. The circle, the actual circle goes away. So what that tells me is I can only use a subtraction tool with two shapes. So let's go back here. Take this away. Let's take that away. And notice my polygon, if we can see, is underneath the actual rectangle. Well, I want the actual polygon to come out of this rectangle. So I'm going to put it on top. Notice I'm in layers, clicking, holding down, and moving it on top. Notice you can actually see it happen. If I go and select these two together, hold that shift button down and click. I want to go to subtract. Notice I can subtract whatever layer is on top will be selected. Whatever object on top will be subtracted from that. And again, polygon, we're going to put that below. I select the two again. And notice how I've taken the actual piece out. So you'll have to get used to it. I've been doing this for so long that it comes natural, but just realize whatever's on top is going to come off, okay? Now we've got a third one, and we've got these selected. It's called intersect, and notice whatever you see, and the cool thing about this is you're going to see whatever intersects, which will be this section right here, will be the only thing that shows. Notice everything else will be gone. So if it's filled in or it's a dark color, no, that's what's going to happen. And of course, the same thing with difference. It's going to be this is gone and everything stays. So let's do intersect. There it is. And you're noticing, I'm going to go back, it's taking the bottom shape, its characteristics. Those are things that you need to know. So, and let's try difference. And notice it's taking that bottom shape too, and that's what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a specific color, now I can still go in here and change the colors. Come here, do the blue, do my strokes, or do my borders as they call it, and change it to the blue like we did before. So if I did forget that, by all means, or it didn't work out well, yeah, go back in and change whatever you want. That's that simple. But that's how we use the create compound shapes. So I'm going to put this one over here. Now let's look at clipping. I have one here, and I have something, and I'm going to overlap them. Notice my compound shapes are still here. This one that we have right here, it's under here in my layers. It's got my compound shapes. I still have what I have going here. It's telling me my rectangle is in its difference. But let's come here to clipping. So I'm going to select these two, 1 and 2, and know that we have a clipping. When I clip, you're going to notice that everything I put in there is going to stay in the bottom shape. Control Z. You're noticing under my layers, my ellipse is my bottom shape. You can see it right here. So let's put this one on top of it too. Let's see how this looks. Put one here. Actually, I'm going to select all these. I am going to align them. I want my ellipse to be the bottom one. So I'm going to take it in layers, and notice on the left-hand side, I'm dropping it below. I have it as a bottom piece. And let's see what happens when I select them all. Come here, Shift, select, and I clip. Notice everything stays within that bottom shape. It's also known as a clipping mask. You'll hear that too. They call it clip. It's also called a clipping mask. So everything that's inside that bottom shape will stay. Maybe I put a photograph in there, and then I use the bottom shape below it, and I put an image, and I can put it in there like that. So those are some of the ideas there it is.